lecture we have discussed about lesson life processes nutrition. We discussed that how food enters in our body and then it digested in our body and gives nutrition to our body. But the food which is digested and mixed in the blood is not able to generate energy for the body. Why? Because that is the only nutrition and that nutrition needs to be oxidized, and after oxidation that nutrition is helpful to generate energy for the body. So for the process of nutrition, for the process of oxidation, we need oxygen in our body, and for the entrance of oxygen, for the utilization of oxygen and all the processes regarding oxygen entering in our body, we have to discuss our second chapter, which is life processes respiration. That means respiration is the process which helps to generate energy in our body with the help of oxygen. It is a catabolic process, that means the process which generates energy for the body. So the entire purpose of respiration is to release energy through oxidation of food molecules such as glucose. The glucose which we get in our previous lecture, when reacts with oxygen, it generates energy. The reaction is that the glucose which came from the food, when reacts with oxygen, gives CO2 plus H2O plus energy. So to receive that energy, to gain that energy, we have glucose, because we know all the process of glucose by the help of previous chapter. But what about this oxygen? How this oxygen came in our body? What is the process which helps to generate this energy? In this chapter we will discuss all about the oxygen and the process of respiration. So let's start with the process of respiration, or the steps which involve in respiration. Steps in respiration. So the first and the very important step is breathing. The first step is breathing, because with the help of breathing only it is possible to receive oxygen in our body. Then came the second step, which is gaseous transport. Gaseous transport. And that gaseous transport is done with the help of blood. And after that came the third step, which is oxidation of food. Oxidation of food. So by the process of breathing we gain oxygen, and by the process of gaseous transport that oxygen reaches towards glucose, and then with the help of third process, oxidation of food, that O2 reacts with glucose, and after that the previous reaction which we discussed earlier takes place. So these are the steps which involve in the process of respiration. Now we will discuss about cellular respiration in brief. We will discuss about cellular respiration. So the process of cellular respiration starts with glycolysis. The process starts with glycolysis, and in this step the only thing which happens is that glucose molecules break down and form pyruvic acid. The only thing which happens is glucose molecules break down and form pyruvic acid. This happens in the first process, which is the process of glycolysis. This is the first step of respiration in all organisms, whether they are aerobic or anaerobic. The first step is always the same, and the first step is always glycolysis. After that, this process occurs inside the cytoplasm of the cell. cell, because there is no energy released during this process. And in this process, the only thing which happens is glucose molecules break down into pyruvic acid. And this process does not use energy, and when it does not use energy, then also it does not release any kind of CO2. And after that, there is a only small amount of ATP came out or generated by this process. So this is the first process. After that, now there came a difference, the difference of aerobic and anaerobic respiration. After this process, the respiration divides into two parts, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So the process of aerobic respiration is the process in which oxygen is used. Oxygen is required for respiration, and when oxygen is used, then aerobic respiration takes place. So in all those organisms which used to inhale oxygen, in all those organisms aerobic respiration takes place. So the first process of aerobic respiration is Krebs cycle. The first process of aerobic respiration is Krebs cycle, and the only thing which occurs in Krebs cycle is that this pyruvic acid is reduced and form reduced coenzymes. This pyruvic acid forms reduced coenzymes. This is the only thing which occurs in Krebs cycle, and Krebs cycle occurs inside the mitochondria. That means this process helps to generate ATP. And after that, in this process, each molecule of pyruvic acid break down and completely oxidize, and 6 molecules of CO2 is released through this process. This process gives rise to reduced coenzymes and also generates large amount of energy. After that came a second process of aerobic respiration, which is ETC, that is electron transport chain. In this process, ATP is also produced, and this process also occurs inside the mitochondria. All those processes in which energy is generated, ATP is produced, all those processes occur inside the mitochondria, and those processes in which energy is not generated, ATP is not produced, that processes occurs in the cytoplasm. So this process occurs in cytoplasm because in this process a little amount of energy is generated only, but both these steps generate energy in a large amount. Therefore, these steps take place in the mitochondria, and in this step, in the process of ATP, finally reduced coenzymes generate energy in the form of ATP. So, in the first step, in the glycolysis, glucose formed and converts into pyruvic acid. In the second step, which is Krebs cycle, pyruvic acid decomposes and form reduced coenzymes. And in the next step, which is electron transport chain, reduced coenzymes form energy in the form of ATP in our body. After that came an anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration is the process that occurs in the absence of oxygen. In this process, oxygen is not present, and this anaerobic respiration is also known as fermentation process. So in this process, the first process is still the same, that glucose converts into pyruvic acid, because glycolysis is still the same in all the process. But now, after the fermentation, when anaerobic respiration takes place, it gives rise to ethanol. And in this process, only a little amount of energy is produced in the form of ATP. So this is anaerobic respiration, which is also known as fermentation, and in this process the glycolysis part is the same, but after this part, when fermentation takes place, pyruvic acids give rise to ethanol and little amount of energy. So this is anaerobic respiration. Sometimes anaerobic respiration takes place in our muscles. How? When the person used to do heavy exercise, then the amount of oxygen is reduced in his or her body, and then to generate energy, to generate little amount of energy. This anaerobic respiration occurs in muscles of human beings or muscles of living organisms. All other human beings used to do aerobic respiration, but only during high exercise in our body, when the oxygen is reduced in our body, energy is very little in our body, then anaerobic respiration takes place. And during anaerobic respiration, in that case this glucose is same and pyruvic acid is same, but during the anaerobic respiration the thing which is formed is lactic acid. Lactic acid is formed and the little amount of energy is released, which is helpful to the body. And because of this lactic acid, cramps occur in the body during exercise. Cramps in muscles occur, and these cramps can be affected with the help of hot water. These things can help to remove these cramps from our body. So cellular respiration involves aerobic and anaerobic respiration, and there are major differences between these two. First process glycolysis happens in aerobic respiration. Firstly Krebs cycles, second part is EDC, and in anaerobic respiration fermentation takes place. And also in human beings, when this process done, then lactic acid formation is done. So this is about cellular respiration. Now we will discuss about external respiration or respiration in plants. How respiration in plants occur, or how plants used to respire, we will discuss this now. The next topic is respiration in plants. So respiration in plants occurs because plant also does exchange of respiratory gases, but that is totally opposite as seen in human beings. Human beings need oxygen, but plants need carbon dioxide. So the first process is saying that plants also breathe and inhale carbon dioxide, and after that to respiration there is no well-defined part. A well-defined respiratory system for exchange of gases is present in the plant. Plant respire with the help of root, stem or leaves, the stomata which is present in the leaves. All these parts used to respiration in plants, and all other parts that are like roots can be used for the respiration. And after that, plants are not active as animals, therefore they also need large amount of energy. So only little amount of energy is sufficient for them to grow and to fulfill all their requirements, and therefore different plants of plant part respire individually and generates energy for itself. And also the carbon dioxide when mixed in food, then the energy is generated, and which is helpful for the growth of the plant. After that came the respiration in animals. Respiration in animals. So how respiration in animals takes place? Animals require a large amount of energy, because plant does not need energy because it does not move from one place to another, but animal shows locomotion, and for locomotion and to perform different type of activities, animals need a large amount of energy. And to gain that energy, the exchange of gases in animal done, because the first thing which used for respiration is breathing, and that breathing process is done in animals. In unicellular organisms which are found in plant water, they used to gain oxygen from the water itself. And respiration in other aquatic animals like fishes, for that process of respiration they have gills present in their body, and that gills used to respire, and with the help of gill they gain oxygen in our body and release CO2 from our body. But in case of terrestrial organ, there are differences. In case of aquatic animals, gills are used to respire, but in case of terrestrial animals, then the respiratory organ is different. In that case, lungs are useful for respiration. Lungs used to respire, and with the help of lungs, human beings and all other terrestrial animals gain oxygen in their body. So the process of breathing involves exchange of gases. That means the oxygen coming in our body and CO2 releasing out from our body. That single process is known as breathing. So students, we have discussed about respiration, cellular respiration, respiration in plants and respiration in animals which are aquatic and terrestrial animals. That's all for today. Thank you.